Good evening. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. What happens on the lake stays in the lake. I'm your camp counselor for the evening. You can call me Mad-Eye Yokai, and this is my first YouTube video. Tonight, I bring you a special behind-the-scenes look at Friday the 13th, the game. For those of you who do not know, Friday the 13th is a new horror game coming out this October for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It's multiplayer. 7-on-1, 7 counselors must survive the night against the infamous serial killer, Jason Voorhees. So, grab some popcorn, a snack, a soda, or some s'mores. Come on in, and let's chat. We have much to discuss. So this is the virtual cabin. This is a bit of a museum, a homage to everything Friday the 13th. And for those of you who do not know, Friday the 13th was originally a film made in 1980, and it grew pretty quickly. It had a small cult following in the 80s, and now, by the year 2016, we have 12 films. 12 films. That is just unbelievable. Now, I think it's just awesome. I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. I'm excited for this game, and I am excited to show you this virtual cabin and everything it has to offer. But we need to talk about the elephant in the room, and that elephant is Jason Voorhees. Now, there are several people who know the story of Jason Voorhees, how it came to be and everything, but there are people here who are going to buy the game and who are seeing this video who have never heard of Jason Voorhees. They've never seen the man wearing this mask. Jason, my homeboy. They don't know who he is, they don't know Friday the 13th, and so tonight, I'm going to share with you the legend behind the mask. So, take out that popcorn and have a seat. We have much to discuss. I'm going to set the mood here. There's actually a soundtrack from the game coming out in October, so this is really spooky stuff. Hold on to your seats, people. We're going in. So, Camp Crystal Lake. Like all summer camps, it has its ghost stories. Like the Hook Man. You know, that crazy man with one hook who escaped from the loony bin? Now, Camp Crystal Lake has a version of the Hook Man, but he's not missing a hand, and he has no hook. His name is Jason Voorhees. Camp Crystal Lake was founded in 1935 and had a stellar reputation as one of the most sought-after summer camps in the United States until the year 1957, when a young boy named Jason Voorhees drowned in the lake. His body was never found, and his mother, who at the time was the cook, was furious. She believed that the camp counselors were having sex and goofing off instead of watching her son. Now, her son wasn't a very good swimmer, and he was handicapped, according to rumor. And so she was furious that no one gave him the attention he deserved. And she went nuts. Oh boy, she went nuts. No one had ever seen Pamela Voorhees be so furious in their entire lives. So, the next year, the 2 counselors who were responsible for Jason were found murdered. No one suspected Pamela Voorhees at the time, and the camp closed down for investigation. In 1979, a group of camp counselors tried to reopen the camp, and one by one, on that frightful night on Friday the 13th in 1979, they were murdered one by one. The sole survivor, Alice Hardy, discovered that the killer was actually Pamela Voorhees, who had returned to seek vengeance on all of the camp counselors and prevent the camp from opening to honor her son's death. Gosh, did you hear that? Maybe it was the wind. But anyways, Alice Hardy and Pamela Voorhees supposedly fought right in front of this dock. And the battle ended when Alice Hardy took a machete and cut off Pamela Voorhees' head. Now, everyone thought the nightmare was over, but it was just beginning. You see, Jason Voorhees never drowned. After all, his body was never discovered, so no one really knew if he had drowned or if he had survived. And apparently he survived. He was living off the land at the time. He didn't understand what was going on, but he saw his mother beheaded right outside this cabin, and it drove him insane. He stalked Alice Hardy home. And Alice Hardy, oh gosh, there he is, folks. There's Jason Voorhees. I gotta lock the door. Hold on. Okay, we're safe. He cannot get in. I really hope he can't. Gosh. Alice Hardy was murdered by Jason Voorhees 2 months later. Blood was found all over the kitchen floor. The body was never found, and police suspect that it was either Jason Voorhees or a copycat killer who had murdered Alice Hardy that night. More camp counselors tried to open up Camp Crystal Lake in the following years. But similar to that fateful Friday the 13th in 1979, the camp counselors were murdered, and all attempts to open Camp Crystal Lake failed. Rumors circulated, and you know how rumor goes. One rumor spreads to another, and Jason Voorhees gained supernatural powers. Some people say he was a zombie that couldn't be killed. Others say he had the ability to teleport, and that he could smell your fear. Some people say he even made it to Manhattan, which I highly doubt since we're at Camp Crystal Lake, but it depends on who you talk to. Everyone has their own different Jason Voorhees. So that's the legend. And if you're wondering what this hockey mask is here, that is the iconic mask that Jason Voorhees wears. Only one person has supposedly lived to see what's underneath the mask. His name is Tommy Jarvis, but people say he's insane, and that he's a liar. So as to whether or not anyone has actually seen Jason Voorhees underneath the mask remains a mystery. And Jason Voorhees is back, folks. We're trying to open up the summer camp for 2016, and I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off. We're either gonna have to escape or fight Jason to the death. The choice belongs to each and every one of us. Alright folks, so that's the end of my first video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested, please leave a like and subscribe. In the next video, I will talk more about the cabin and the single-player experience. Yes, that is right, the single-player experience this cabin has to offer. And I'll go over some of the items that you can find in this cabin that are from the movies. And in a later video, I will show you the Jason room, which shows 3D models of Jason Voorhees up close and personal. So, leave a like, subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Peace!